Alright lads, it is the Meta Goblin here, and today we're doing a bit of a discussion video explaining the situation which is going on with Star Wars Battlefront EA. Now you may have heard a few things about this game, that it's really good, it's going really well, or it's really bad, it's underdeveloped, it's very rushed, or you may have heard a bit of both. So, the roots of most the problems with any game in the franchise right now is EA. Now EA is a publisher. Basically, a company designs the game, and then EA are responsible for publishing it, making the discs, making advertisements and stuff like that. And EA have had a long history of rushing games to release, obviously to make more money, or to get the game released in a certain time period where it's going to make more money. Like for instance December, this game's been released in December. Why do you think Hobbit was released in December? Star Wars The Force Awakens is going to be released in a few days, all in December, because adults are, they are more inclined to pay money for their kids to go and see films, to buy games and all that stuff. Like a lot of people spend more money in December. I make twice as much money on YouTube in December because of advertising companies wanting to pay me more to have their advert on my video, so I get like double pay in December. But anyway, EA has had a long history of rushing games to release, especially Star Wars games. Actually, if you look at Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now this is an MMO. It's such a sound MMO. Within the first week, it got like over 1 million subscribers, which broke a new record. And the problem is, once you got to level 50 on this game, when it was first released, there just wasn't enough content to keep you interested, and so everyone just started quitting because they got to max level and then there was just like nothing to do. And this was because EA rushed BioWare to release the game early, and so it was an unreleased, undeveloped game. And it's a shame because now it's probably quite a developed game, but not a lot of people are playing it, but just because of this initial stigma it developed, because and people don't even know that this is the fact. People just think it's a bad game, but it's not. It is such a good game. I had so much fun playing this game when it first came out. It's such a shame. But anyway, let's move on to actually, there's a train coming past and people might be looking at me. So another thing we've got to talk about is the Star Wars films. So the only reason why Star Wars Battlefront 1, released so many years ago, was ever a thing is because of the Star Wars films. Like, people are only going to release Star Wars games from the Star Wars films, because it's going to make them more money. And the popularity of Star Wars is like booming when the films come out, and so people are going to buy the games. That's just how it's just basic economics, isn't it? It's basic business sense. So you got Star Wars Battlefront comes straight out near Attack of the Clones, the second Star Wars film, and then you get the second Star Wars Battlefront coming out after the third film, which is basically the third film in a game, which is really good. So after that, the company who made Star Wars, I think it's Pandemic, Star Wars Battlefront, they were in the middle of making Star Wars Battlefront 3, but it went bust. And then Free Radicals started making Star Wars Battlefront 3, and they were bought by Crytek, so the project was dropped. So basically, two people have tried to make Star Wars Battlefront 3. But the reason why not any big developers didn't take on the project is simply because it'd been years since the last Star Wars film, so there wasn't a massive interest in Star Wars. Between the only Star Wars games I really got were those Lego games, and which were based on the Clone Wars, which is fair enough because the Clone Wars was popular then. But you had the Force Unleashed as well, which is set between the original films, and that's the last good big Star Wars game you got up until now, when The Force Awakens come up. So Disney buys LucasArts, and that's it. Now they're making films, and the fact that they're making films increases the popularity of Star Wars all over again. It's basically just history repeating itself, and now Star Wars Battlefront has been released, and that's the reason why we've got Star Wars Battlefront. It's because EA want to, they see it as an opportunity to make money. And let's move on to Star Wars Battlefront itself. What the problem with it right now is that it's an extremely rushed game. It's really right. So you've got a game, and there's no campaign, there's no massive competitive mode, you've just got a few maps. It's very arcade style, you know. It's basically like playing Call of Duty without a story, campaign, and without like that much customization. So really, I'd say the game right now, it's worth £20 to £30. It's like Counter-Strike with better graphics. That's how much it's worth. That's how much the game is worth. But obviously it's £50. Okay, to justify that £50 price tag, there would have to be a campaign, a storyline, pretty long one at that, and there would have to be some kind of competitive mode and maybe more customization of your character in the online mode to justify that £50 tag, and obviously more maps, more game modes, all that kind of thing. But right now it's not worth 50 quid. Like, I paid 33 quid for it, which is still pushing it. I got it on G2A. That's the only reason why I own this game. I'd definitely not pay 50 quid for this game. It's very underdeveloped. And EA acknowledges this even more by the fact that there's DLC. There's literally a season pass, and it costs £40 for a season pass. So basically EA is saying, right, this is a game, right? The game as it is basically in beta. We're basically paying 50 quid for beta. That's what's going on here. And £40 of DLC, I mean, that's quite expensive. They must be releasing quite a lot. And let's be honest, the content which they've said that they were going to release in these DLCs should have been released on release to justify that £50 price tag. Well, price tag, like, maybe anyway. I don't know why they wanted to release it before the films. Like, what's going to happen, I can see happening, is basically the first film's going to be released, events they might release a campaign based on the film, or they might release more maps based on the film, or more characters and stuff based on the film. And why didn't they just wait for that film to come out? Like, I've been waiting for this game a very, very, very long time. To be honest, I've waited an extremely long time, but I would have waited another year if it meant the game was going to be a lot even better. But they could have done something else. They could have made a campaign about something else. They could have done something, but they didn't. They could have actually applied themselves and made a good game, but they didn't. They wanted it to all be about, you know, the new films, and new films aren't even out yet, so how's that going to work? And it's quite a shame, because the game is actually really good. The graphics are just mental. The sound effects, I mean, it's probably the best looking and sounding game ever released. It's up there, like near like Armour and Crisis and all that. It's a great looking game. The game itself is really fun, and the guns, everything works just really well. It's challenging. It's fun. And the cards, the customization of the cards, like you can change which grenade you have, and you can have like homing shots and sniper rifles, and that's another thing I really like about the game, the fact that the sniper rifle isn't like a default gun, because it's annoying when people just use a sniper, isn't it? Like permanently, and it's just overpowered as hell. There's none of that. All the guns are extremely balanced. They have advantages and disadvantages in different situations. It's a really balanced game, and that doesn't happen very often. So yeah, it's just a terrible shame. Like, if this game had more development, it would be definitely up there, the game of the year. I could probably see them actually releasing maybe a prequel era, maybe. I mean, that DLC, £40 for a DLC. There's going to be a lot of content released, and I hope to God it's not just going to be more maps, because £10 for like more maps, it's so bloody reminds me of the days when I used to play Call of Duty, when you buy like a map pack for a tenner. And then like 2 weeks after, the new game will be released. Like, what the hell? I just hope it's not going to be like map packs, because I don't really care about map packs. I want more of a game. You know what I mean? If this game had a competitive mode, it'd be awesome. But anyway, I mean, not much else to talk about. I mean, express your opinions in the description. I mean, I'm not dissing the game. Like, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for dissing the game and all that. But maybe I should have said that it's a sound game at the start. But oh well. Dislikes on my videos just really don't affect me anymore, and negative comments. So anyway, lads, my name is Goblin. Until my next video, ciao.